We set goals in our lives, and in the beginning we always have motivation, but we know that motivation wanes as we make progress towards the goal. This research is essentially about your intrinsic drive to push through to try to achieve your goal. I'm Huri Rafiyan. I'm an assistant professor of marketing at Gabelli Business School. I'm going to be talking about my research that I have recently published in Journal Marketing Research on exerting efforts towards our goals and how that's going to affect our perception of progress towards the goal. Let's say I have the goal of losing weight and I'm going to the gym 5 times a week in order to achieve that. So today I'm getting ready, I want to go to the gym, and suddenly I see that there is a show on television that I'm super interested in and I really want to watch that. Despite that, I go to the gym, I complete my work. Alternatively, imagine that I want to go to the gym, I get ready, there is nothing interesting going on, I just go to the gym, do my workout. When you think about these two situations, I have completed one workout of the week, so the amount of progress that I have made towards my goal is exactly the same. What we find in this research is that people think that they have made more progress towards completing all of their workouts of the week in the first situation. And they also think that they have made more progress towards the goal of fitness, the goal of weight loss, the overarching goal that they have. And what we find that when we exert this effort, this self-control effort to say no to this interesting alternative option that we have. And when I say no to that successfully, I feel that I'm committed to my goal. And this perception of commitment will tell me that in the future, if something like this happens, I'm a kind of person that's going to be able to overcome that problem. And that will suddenly make the future look easier for me. And we know that when future is easier, we already think that we are closer to that goal that we are trying to achieve. And interestingly, we find that in those situations, you're also more motivated to push through. You are more motivated to stay with the goal for a longer time, to take on other goal-related tasks. Question is how companies can leverage these findings in helping people. And we know that there are so many companies, so many applications that are trying to help people achieve their goals. So the question is, should they force people to exert self-control? And that doesn't sound realistic, right? But what we find in this research is that they don't have to do that. The company can send me notifications and just ask me to remind me of my self-control effort, or to ask me to reflect on my self-control effort. We actually designed these notifications in our research. They didn't actually exert more self-control, we just nudged them to think about, to reflect on their self-control effort. And we find the same effect. We also find that people in this condition, they actually think that the company or the application is more helpful to them, to help them to achieve their goal. So that has huge implications for the company as well. So let's say you have a bunch of tasks that you want to complete. For example, I need to make an appointment for a dentist, and I keep delaying that, right? So there is like this mental cost of doing that. So our recommendation to people is that just go for those tasks that have this higher mental cost, because usually these are the tasks that we classify as high self-control tasks. And when you complete them, you think that you have made more progress towards completing your tasks, and you will be more motivated to take on another task, to complete the next task, and to achieve your goal ultimately.